Hello and welcome to Is There Something in This, the podcast where I, Scott Dooley, and he, Jason Chatfield, invite you into our writer's room where we come up with our cartoons for The New Yorker, among other publications.
Welcome back.
Sorry,
yes.
we had a bit of hiatus. That's my fault.
Lazy.
That is my fault because I was going to make a pretty off-color joke about recent political developments in parts of this country. But my wife and I had unprotected sex.
You've had an illegal immigrant. No, a legal.
An anchor baby.
An anchor baby.
Yeah.
You've had an anchor baby. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
On the birth of your son, the anchor baby.
The anchor baby. And
yes.
if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I'm soft launching him like a teenager with a new boyfriend. Like there's
a hand.
Yeah, glimpses
holding a hand.
There's a lot of there's a lot of that.
It's
so
very 2012.
It's been kind of
it's amazing.
As the father, the non-birthing parent.
Is that what you?
That's
okay.
what I.
Okay.
Yeah. J.K. Rowling hates it, but that's what I call myself.
NBP. Yep.
I can't do, I'm useless, right? So my entire life, because I can't, the thing that keeps the baby alive, like this is something I learned, is being fed.
Yeah, no, you've learned that.
Yeah,
good.
New.
You did write a book on this. You realise that?
Yeah, I wrote the book on this. I think I know how to.
You're like, it needs calories to grow.
And I refer to him as it.
It needs calories?
Yeah.
That's great. That's the sign of a good dad.
So my job is like it's the equivalent of like working on a cruise ship where I know there's about to be a meal, like a meal rush. So all I do is I'm up half an hour before everyone else, like prepping for service.
Nice. Yeah, doing a mise en place, kind of just
making
getting
sure the
ready.
heat's right and like that we
prep.
have all the prep.
You're the youngest member of the kitchen. You're just
totally.
That's funny.
And so I'm doing a lot of like coming behind chef and all that stuff. That's it. That's my whole job.
Funny.
And that's my life now. And I'm realize that I'm cut out.
You are.
For this, like just being bossed around.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it takes that to figure out what you're designed for.
Yeah, and I am designed to be a dish hand.
A dish hand dad.
For a line cook.
Like
I'm not at 11 Madison, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Oh my God.
Yeah,
I tell you I got like a gift certificate to 11 Madison Park.
That's such a weird, like a gift certificate to the world's most exclusive restaurant when you can also get a gift certificate to Olive Garden.
Literally anywhere else. Yeah, it is. It is a. It was. For those who don't know, 11 Madison Park. It's a Michelin star restaurant. It's vegan. It's all vegan now. It's entirely
that's right.
vegan. It's on Park Avenue and 23rd. I want to say.
It's like the full digustation as well.
Yeah,
it's like 13 courses.
8 course is the least you can have. I think 8 is the minimum.
Right.
Yeah, but it's like 13, 14 course thing, where everything is like a foam reduction on a tiny little thing, and then you go out for a burger afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and you're surprised the burger. What? Couldn't this burger be a mist? This is. Why don't you try anything anymore, Wendy's?
Where's the thinly sliced scallops and? So
you go in and ask for a baconator. No truffle.
No truffle.
I'm
full. I couldn't eat another truffle. No, but so Sophie and I stick out like a sore thumb there because we just don't like everyone. It was more about the people watching than the food. The food was extraordinary, but the people watching was amazing because the people who go to that place to be seen at that place are really like peacocking and really like interesting, ridiculous faces for a cartoonist to just constantly be distracted by, my wife is sitting across from me going, don't you want to enjoy our anniversary? I'm like, look at the fucking nose on this guy. See, I can't stop looking.
That is one of those things that is both a huge compliment and terrible slight.
Oh, the worst.
When you say, I need to draw you.
I need to draw you,
like,
It's a compulsion. I can't not do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to get this out of my brain and onto a page. That's me in Paris every time. Every time I go to France.
So 11 Madison, was it any good?
I mean, we walked away with the cookbook because the food was like next level. It was really good, and I did not expect.
Yeah,
to
no
enjoy
one's
it.
buying the cookbook to avoid accidentally cooking.
Yeah, right. It was pretty amazing, and that was in a year when I went vegan for medical reasons. I did I was vegan for a while, and that was like, oh, okay, we can go to that place because it's vegan.
Right. That and dirt candy, and you're pretty much shit out of luck then.
Pretty much. Now, I wanted to mention that last episode, we did something that seemed to go well. People seemed to like, which was plugs up top.
Plugs up top.
Party in the front, party in the back, whatever the hell.
So
plugs up top, party in the back.
So in order to make the plugs more palatable, I will do news-based jokes from the last week.
Yes.
In between each plug, because otherwise it's just a bit like, hey, MeUndies and kind of MailChimp and stuff.
Get some Mac Weldon, blah, blah, blah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we got some plugs?
Yeah, we've got some plugs.
All right, you kick off with a plug and then I'll do a joke after
okay.
each plug. All right.
Hillary Fitzgerald Campbell, New Yorker
Wait,
cartoonist.
I think we've got to plug our own thing
Oh, you know what? We probably should. Like
Hillary is fantastic.
We literally spent years making.
We love Hillary.
Yes.
And we can't wait to tell you what she's up to. But you should only go if you have money left over after buying our book.
What is left of our book, which is a great book, it's called You're Not a Real Parent Until... And yes, all that research was done.
Yeah, just don't question the order in which things happened. That's kind of...
So if you go to you'renotareal.com, that's YOURE, notareal.com, you can get a copy anywhere you are in the world. And
don't go to Amazon.
Do not go to Amazon. Don't go to Barnes & Noble. Don't go to bookshop.org. Just go to you'renotareal.com. We would love you to buy the book. It's 100 cartoons. Everything from babies, toddlers, tweens, teens, all grown up. The joys of parenting, of which Scott is about to embark upon.
Okay, here's a joke. Former Vice President Mike Pence says that he will not be backing Donald Trump in the 2024 election. In other shock endorsement news, Chris Christie has said that he will not be supporting massive cholesterol-related heart attack in the upcoming election, while Marjorie Taylor Greene is refusing to advocate for sanity.
You can keep going with that one. That's like a 10. That's a
top
top 10.
I was like,
yeah. You weeded it out to those
there was
three.
a lot of like
rule of threes.
Mitch McConnell pause button kind of thing.
That's great. When just as a quick aside before I do the next plug, when Mitch McConnell did when he seized up with the second time, there was this sort of anyone who couldn't get a GIF out fast enough on the first round, it just was an avalanche of robot bleep, blurp, bloop GIFs. The second time.
Did you see what was trending on Twitter at the time?
No, I
Glitch
didn't.
McConnell.
Oh, that's fantastic.
What a
Some
joke.
days, Twitter, X, whatever the hell, it has its days. Okay, New Yorkers, catch Hillary Fitzgerald Campbell's free monthly comedy show this month called Real Live Girls. It's on, I think it's this next Wednesday at Young Ethel's. And, of course, Hillary releases Cartoons by Hillary every Friday, which is, I highly recommend. Can I mention to you something that was in this week's Cartoons by Hillary?
Yes. Sorry, that felt very rhetorical. It would be incredible if you baited that hook and just said, maybe next week I'll tell you.
It's a teaser. It's a sizzle.
Just so much sizzle.
So she posts her diary, she draws a diary, and one of my favorite ones from this week was there was a line chef. Speaking of line cooks, and she overheard him at H&H Bar in Williamsburg. Do you know H&H Bar? And they were talking to the bartender, and the line cook came over because the bartender kept pointing at him and going, hey, his uncle wrote a Garth Brooks song. Just telling everybody.
That's great.
Telling the whole bar.
That's great.
There are nuggets like that in every edition.
And the best part about that
Cartoons by
is
Hillary.
like, it wasn't one of the good ones.
No.
Otherwise, you'd be like, hey, that guy wrote, I can't think of a
Right.
single
The
Garth
guy in
Brooks
the
song.
corner who just shouted the bar. Yeah. No. The line cook wrote a bad album filler.
Vladimir Putin has won the Russian presidential election, securing a 5th term at the helm. In a press conference, Putin hailed the win as proof of Russia's trust in him. Meanwhile, those running against Putin will make comment on Tuesday afternoon in a nationally televised seance. Because he kills people. He kills him dead.
Yep. My favorite bit about when you do this is when you say, because he kills people. Oh, because of the incest. It's
Because he's fat. That was the Chris Christie joke.
Cholesterol.
It was a
Do you
fat
remember
joke.
him? He ran.
It's so good doing a fat joke if you put it as like a political, like it goes from being kind of cruel and hacky to political satire.
Oh, hello. Remember when Jimmy Fallon had Christie on when he was running the first time and he had him slow jamming the news?
Oh, God.
It was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. He has not a funny bone in his body. Amy Kurzweil is now teaching cartoon classes on Patreon. You can sign up to get the recording of every past class as well. Look up Amy Kurzweil on Patreon for those classes.
A second man has been charged in connection with the 2005 theft of a pair of ruby slippers that Judy Garland wore in The Wizard of Oz. Jerry Hal Salterman was charged with the theft of a major... Jerry Hal Salterman was charged with the theft of a major artwork and witness tampering. Police are hailing the arrest as a massive step forward in breaking up the gay mafia.
It's a Rico case. That's funny. That's very funny. As someone who lives in Chelsea, that's very, yeah. Last plug is...
I've run out of jokes, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Last plug is Saturday, the 30th of March. New Yorkers come to Brooklyn to Union Hall for Picture This. Cartoonists and comedians paired up for a fantastic show, 7 p.m. at Union Hall in Brooklyn. It's the best show in town.
In sport, New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers has responded to a CNN report that he cast doubt on the veracity of the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre. The outlet reported that Rodgers has privately shared many conspiracy theories, the most shocking of which, that the Jets can make the playoffs next season.
Sports.
He's gone too far.
There's a Venn diagram somewhere of people who listen to podcasts about writing New Yorker cartoons and sports.
I think that Venn diagram is people that like arts-based podcasts who also know the Jets suck, and that's pretty close to just a circle.
Yeah, that's
like everyone knows that.
That's a punchline. The Jets not being a good team.
Yeah,
that's a trope at this point.
Yeah, and not much of a gang either. I was a Sharks man. I was a Sharks man. There, I said, I know it's not politically correct, but I preferred the Sharks to the Jets in West Side Story.
A lot of clicking, if you ask me.
So much clicking.
a little too much.
It would be very embarrassing to be murdered by that gang.
Oh, my God. Click to death.
Yeah. Didn't you hear him coming? I was clicking from 4 blocks away.
Didn't you hear him coming?
Run!
Terrible spies.
They're also just one of the worst, move in silence. How do you know it was the Jets? Well, they were chanting, "We're the Jets, we're the Jets, we're the Jets."
Hard to disguise yourself. With that
we're hearing a lot of that.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to hear some jokes? You want some cartoons?
So welcome to the writers' room. Let's kick off.
All right,
Let's
this
go.
one is heavily influenced. This is like a Law and Order plucked from today's headlines.
Love a Law and Order.
If my life was today's headlines. Mm-hmm. It's 2 babies, and they've got bottles. I don't know where they're sitting. That's kind of a question for you.
Dealer's choice. Okay.
One of them's just got the bottle, and the other one's bottle is really elaborate and it's very 11 Madison Park kind of version of a bottle.
Sure.
And the baby's going, I know, I'm a Milky.
I'm a Milky. Sounds like a foodie.
There you go.
Is it a champagne coupe shaped milk?
Like a martini
but with the
glass or
little
something. With
membrane on
the
it?
The nipple.
The little nipple? That shape is quite... That actually works quite well. I think that'll...
Yeah, it's
very
also...
New Yorker as well.
It is, yeah. But with the nipple on it, it's also something that the Joker would drink out of at a party to show he's crazy and sexual.
Let me ask you this, as a new father, how often does your son need to feed?
Every 2.5, 3 hours.
2.5,
Imagine
3
I was once a day or something.
I don't know.
He sleeps a lot and he's getting weak.
Yeah, Reddit doesn't have any consensus.
We don't want one of those fat babies you see all the time. You know what I mean?
The reason I ask is, what's the craziest hour of the night that you would feed your kid?
3. Yeah, it kind of
3 a.m.?
varies. About 2 to 3. That's the middle of the night. There's one at like midnight-ish,
Yep.
and then 2
like
or
a 3 a.m.
And so they're the ones where I have to like force my wife to bed. Like I just say, just feed him and I'll do everything else because it takes a lot out of you,
Sure.
breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Especially if you do it. Okay, so you got to Google that. So what I was thinking, the reason I'm asking him is like, what if, and this is very silly, same babies, but one of them is drinking out of that martini glass going, it's 6 a.m. somewhere.
Oh.
Or it's 5 a.m. somewhere.
Yeah.
I think, there's something about, I mean, it's a bit off color, a baby having a martini, but, or a champagne or whatever, but like a little, with the little, it's clearly milk. Yeah. And it's got the little nipple on it. And go, it's 5 a.m. somewhere.
Yeah.
There was some discussion.
Or what if it's instead of my scream? Because, babies scream when they're hungry.
Oh, yeah. My shout, my scream. Yeah, next round's my scream.
Next round is my blood-curdling scream, everyone.
Keep it open. That's funny. That's so bad. Is that a joke? Is there something in the kid having a bottle of milk and then handing over a card saying, keep it open?
Keep it open. Or
like even just drinking.
Or just saying, leave the bottle, and then...
Well, that was obviously the cartoon we sold to Mad years ago. The baby at the bar saying, leave the bottle. And it's a bottle.
Right.
That was the caption contest for cartoon stock in February. It's like $1,000 caption contest. And there was some fantastic entry. I did not expect there to be so many good entries on that one.
Yeah.
And there were things where people... And this is a great gag, sort of a little inside baseball.
What's the image?
The image is it's like a Brooklyn bar, like an old dive.
Yeah.
And there's a guy at the end of the bar, and then there's a baby sitting at the bar, but like a sullen-looking, real barfly-looking baby. And right, like he lives there. Yeah. And then the bartender is looking back because the baby's saying something, and he's holding a gigantic milk bottle, like a Johnny Walker Black size, liter bottle, and the baby is saying, "Leave the bottle." Pitched it to the New Yorker. They said, a bit on the nose about babies drinking. Matt immediately snapped it up.
What about babies talking then?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's the weird thing.
What about babies having the muscle dexterity to sit at a bar?
Yeah. He's literally drinking milk at a bar. Like, there's a little, but whatever. So, Matt loved it. They ran it. And then when it ran as a caption contest... I thought, well, leave the bottle's pretty obvious on this one because of I actively structured it so that there's a bottle.
So that's the joke, yeah.
But you would be amazed at some of the creative captions that came through for this thing. You can see them on YouTube. If you just Google caption contest, leave the bottle.
What was the winner?
Cartoon stock. The winner was, and I think I mentioned this previously, and then it hit me, I'm sleeping with my mother. Which is a great, and I didn't anticipate. There was another one, which was, someone picked my father up off the floor. Because he's not in shot, it assumes something just happened and he fell off the stool. Like, there's things where they just build into it this scene and extra dimensions. I'm like, this is great.
What about no, I know a place that serves all hours.
Every 3 hours.
Getting everyone back to the bar to suck on his mum's tits.
Every 3 hours it opens again.
What were the worst ones, though? I always like the bad ones where they're just like, thanks, Trump. Or it's like there's no joke there.
I don't drink. I'm a baby. Yeah. And some of those are trolling and some are actual,
that's funny.
This will get them.
That's really
And it's
funny.
literally $1,000 prize. And people will go, yep, this is and you get one shot.
I got it.
You get one shot.
I got it.
Joe Ayala won it, and it was fantastic. It was a really good, What else you got?
Like a really intense scientific, moon landing kind of, there's lots of people running around doing sciencey things.
At a NASA
I don't know. They're trying to figure something out, right?
Okay.
They're trying to solve a problem.
Houston, we
a
have
lot
a
of
problem.
lab coats and people furrowing brows and
Sure.
stuff. And
Let me ask you this. Are there ties but short sleeve shirts?
oh yeah, maybe I'll
that?
allow it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
a lot of thick
A lot of
rimmed
thick
glasses.
A
Yeah,
lot
okay.
of falling down Michael Douglas
Yeah,
hairstyles.
a lot of Brill cream. Go on. Yeah.
So and this is kind of, I don't know if I kind of like this or not, but it's like the one scientist is saying to another one, like, well, there's this hive of excitement in the background, saying, we've been working on this around the clock for 8 weeks, and we're still no closer to knowing what it means. And you can see up on the thing that they're trying to decipher a text message that just says, ha 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 ha, dot dot dot, no way, winky face.
Oh, wow.
And
Boy,
it's like one of those, like,
that's cryptic.
what does that mean?
What does that even mean? Is that good? Is
Is
that bad?
she into me? Like,
Is this a second date?
Yeah.
That's good.
Do you think I did
Well,
it?
okay, so here's why I'm a little out of my depth on this one. I started dating before emojis. That's how, like, I've been married for 11 years.
Right.
So when I was dating, there wasn't even apps. There wasn't even Tinder or Grindr or any, like, I think Tinder and Grindr came out roughly within a year or so of each other, I think. But there's no part of me.
throwing Grindr in there pretty early in the list of apps.
No, but it was. I remember because
Yeah, but you had no business to be there, given your...
Sophie's best friend was showing me Grindr. Adam was showing me Grindr at the time, and I was like, "This is wild," because it's so different. It's so different.
Yeah.
And I was not on there. I mean, we'd already together.
Grindr's amazing. Like, Tinder is like, do you want to meet your... When it
Right.
started, do you want to meet your soulmate?
Right.
Well,
right.
Grindr was like, want to fuck in a park?
Pretty much.
Because I'm near a park.
I'm in it now. I'm in a park.
And you could look, who else is near this park?
Yeah. Specific
Is that
kinks.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like that's why I mentioned it's so different. But I have no idea. Single friends of mine, in fact, one single friend in particular, will show me his text messages and also his Hinge DMs or whatever that is. And I can't decipher it. It is like I'm Nicolas Cage in National Treasure or Tom Hanks in The Da Vinci Code, just trying to decode, like through some kind of cipher, what she's actually trying to say, or even how he should respond.
That's what I mean.
So as
Yeah.
or how long to wait before even responding. There's so many levels to it now.
Yeah.
And I'm so out of my depth.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
So what I'm hearing is
Yeah.
you're finding it hard to cheat on your wife because you're not up with the...
She knows full well that I would fall on my face minute one if I tried.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "You idiot. Get back in here."
Jason, you texted me again.
Oh, shit, sorry. Is that your WhatsApp? So I like that. I think the thing on the screen, though, I love the idea of it being indecipherable and every great brain in NASA and the
Maybe
FBI
it is more an archeological bent
Could
instead
be.
of
Like
scientific.
a hieroglyphic dig.
Yeah, something like that.
And
Yeah.
they've brought in like this expert who's got like a hat, like a like an Indiana Jones hat. looking at it, just yeah. And then it's. I wonder if that's a thing. Are there hieroglyphic texts where there's also the 3 dots? Like it's all these hieroglyphics and then a dot dot dot. And they're like, yeah, he died before he finished it.
Oh, what about if it's like them looking at the pyramids and seeing the hieroglyphics kind of in a sarcophagus or anything, saying, "Oh, and this is when Pharaoh cancelled plans."
Oh, that's pretty good.
You know, or like.
That reminds me of one of my favorite cartoons of all time by Will McPhail, which is the woman collapsed in absolute bliss on the chair with her high heels kicked off and a blouse sort of down by her side. She's got her bra. She's about to take her bra off. That great moment. And the title is just "High on Cancelled Plans."
That's great. Yeah.
That is honestly one of the best executed on an idea that has been well trod. Like everyone's tried to hit that, but he just nailed it. That's such a good.
Here's a joke I think you'll like.
Okay.
Guy at the airline check-in, and he's got next to him, so he's standing there, and then to his right, maybe we're looking over his shoulder or whatever.
Okay.
To his right, there's a pony.
Okay.
Then there's a dog.
Okay.
And the animal, there's animals all the way down to like a duck, right? Like but going down in height size. And the caption is, "No, the pony is my support animal. The dog is the pony's support animal." ...
That's funny.
It's so dumb, right?
No, it's great. There are no dumb ideas. This is great.
Well, before you say that,
yeah, okay.
wait till you hear my
I'm gonna
last
regret-
pitch because
I'm gonna
I
regret
have not
saying
had
that.
a proper night's sleep for 3 weeks. So,
Okay, go on.
yeah. All right. I actually think this is a good joke,
Okay.
but if you offer any resistance, I'll fold like a house of cards because I don't know if I believe in it.
Okay. You do, but in your defense, when you really do fight for a joke, you will die.
This one, I'm
Okay.
prepared to take the L.
Okay. All right.
But I think it's pretty funny.
Okay.
Dueling Western gunslingers.
Okay,
In the
at
middle
dawn.
of Main Street.
Noon?
It's noon.
High noon.
Everyone's kind of watching. Mm-hmm. And the hands are there.
Yep.
And the caption is, well, given the economic climate, this town is going to have to be big enough for the two of us. And a couple who is happy to sublet the office. Or something along that. Maybe
That's good.
The
There's a
captions
lot
aren't
of...
right.
No, I know what you mean. There's a lot of talk about that right now. And the idea of it being... Any high noon gunslingers, what do you call it, pistols at dawn or high noon?
Yeah, high
I
noon.
think those are two separate things, by the way. Pistols at dawn is more like Hamilton, and high noon is cowboys.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to think it was the same thing, because pistols at dawn is those like ball-bearing pistols
with the foppish,
10 paces,
the
Exactly.
velvet bag full of
Exactly.
gunpowder,
and the little click, like you pull the
Yeah.
thing back. It's Alexander Hamilton style, sort of 10 paces, turn and shoot.
Yeah.
That's pistols at dawn. I
Right.
thought that's what high noon was. That's not. It's totally different. High noon is literally, middle of the day.
Yeah.
Two cowboys.
Well, pistols at dawn and high noon. The names probably should have tipped you off there.
But they're both using pistols, technically.
Yeah, but it's like drive-by versus execution
good point.
style.
Good point. So they're two different things. So high noon. I like it. I agree. I think the funniness.
wordy.
I think that's why it's funny is because it's wordy.
That in this moment,
Yeah,
he's like
because
launching into this.
do you remember we pitched one which was two gay cowboys, which was looks like this town is big enough for the two of us, or it was like them in a town. They finally found a town big enough for the two of them.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
That's
it was
kind
one of
that's
yours.
kind of sweet.
And it was a nice, like, feel good kind of cartoon.
Yeah.
But it was like, I think it just didn't have a home. It just couldn't find a home. Because it was a little too, like, not schmaltzy, but it was like, oh, that's nice. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, when you say it, it's like, it's not funny.
No, but it's a play on that this town ain't big enough for the two of us.
Yeah.
And then it gets a bit broke back, and they're like, no, come on, this town's big enough for two of us.
two of us.
So,
Oh, what about if it's like, well, Darren, I guess what I'm trying to say is this town's big enough for the two of us. Like
That-
he's like proposing.
and then the score from Brokeback starts playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty
Then
good.
the guy from Saltburn comes and fucks the ground near him. What are you doing, man? Do you know that was ad-libbed?
No.
That was ad-libbed.
That can't have been
It was
ad-libbed.
ad-libbed.
There's no way
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
ad-libbed.
yeah. Imagine being on the crew there, being like,
Do we
know,
call
go
cut
call
or...
dude. Make him stop.
is he going to create a new species
Yeah.
of flora? That's so weird.
Yeah.
I can't believe that was ad-libbed. That's unreal.
Well, but by the same token, it would be difficult to write.
I mean,
And then, like, you're trying to get funding, and they'll be like, the part where he fucks the grave, do we need to keep?
But the bathtub alone would have been hard to sell.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus,
yeah.
there's a lot.
All right, what do
Anyway,
you got?
Enough Saltburn references for one episode, I believe. Okay, so here's something, and I don't know what it is. You and I sometimes will throw together ideas that are, we don't know if they're stand-up, we don't know if they're a gag, we don't know if they're like a cartoon.
Yep.
Is there something in this? Is there something in like the first thing Alexander Graham Bell did after he said hello was put my wife on? Presumably he called home. Like that was, he was testing it out. So he had to go somewhere to test it out.
Oh, yeah.
So the first thing that was ever said on a telephone line by Alexander Graham Bell apparently was hello.
Well,
But
because
there's different
didn't
reportings of it.
Edison want everyone to say ahoy? That was his kind of...
Hoi hoi.
Yeah, that was what he...
Yeah.
And him and Alexander Graham Bell kind of had an argument about it.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds very young Einstein.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yahoo Serious
These
was in
little
there as well.
Yahoo serious reference for you.
There you go.
It,
Put my wife on. I just like the line "put my wife on" because there's something about, especially back then, being the first, or was the first thing Alexander Graham Bell, or that was ever said on a phone line, is he's not. He says he's not here.
That's
You
kind
know,
of what
like
I
it's
was
the
thinking.
thing at the bar where it's like,
Yeah.
tell her I'm not here,
Yeah.
or like, you know, something like that. But then to have a phone at a bar, it's the first thing ever said on a phone.
I'm just struggling to see how we illustrate.
Yeah, that's where I'm stuck, because it's like great moments in history. We probably have to predicate it with a title or some kind of great moments in history. First thing ever said on a phone after he said hello was put my wife on. Is there something there? It's just anything historical. Like
what if it's
moments?
just like what if it's great moments in history? The first phone call avoided. And it's Alexander Graham Bell in one thing.
Yeah.
And then on the other side it's like someone just like shaking their head. You know, like
let it go to voicemail.
yeah, something
Let it go to
something
voicemail.
like that. Like
What was old voicemail? Old voicemail was a butler taking it down as a note with a dip pen and a nib and ink.
Giles, do the voice.
Giles, do the voice. That's great. That's really funny. Early voicemail. Giles, do the voice. That's funny. That's the joke. That's the joke. We found it. That's a great joke.
Sitting in the drawing room.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
does sound like that.
That's funny. I think that's good. I think we found something there. I'll draw it up.
Yeah, it's silly, isn't it?
Giles is a great butler name. Not just from the nanny. I just mean in general.
No, his name was Niles.
Was it Niles?
Yeah.
I thought it was Giles.
No.
You're right, it was Niles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cece and Niles. That's right. There we go.
Classic romantic couple.
Yeah, right. Okay, so the idea around penny for your thoughts, but like people, like a marketing team, like an advertising team trying to rebrand. You know, I don't know, 0.00001 BTC for your thoughts. Just doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah.
It's just like, because a penny in Bitcoin,
What's a penny
in
is
crypto,
is 1 cent.
yes,
And then it goes
So-
up to
5 and then whatever it is, yeah.
what about
pennies,
what about
dimes.
this? What about due to inflation, it's actually a nickel for your
Now
thoughts.
it's a dime.
Yeah.
Yeah, dime for your thoughts.
It's
yeah.
pretty it's pretty obvious though. I
Infl-
prefer the
That's what I think I started with like a penny for your thoughts. Like an idea. I'm hoping people still understand the reference.
what if it's someone traveling? It's an American traveling.
Like an
and
exchange
saying,
rate?
like, I love the exchange rate. I can get 3 thoughts for a penny.
That's great. There's something there where it's like 3.56
well,
thoughts.
what if it's the conversion chart
yeah.
at the thing?
Yeah.
How many thoughts you can get per penny? Like
That's good.
and
Yeah, thoughts per
Thoughts
penny in
per
that like
penny.
column.
Yeah.
And then the person at the exchange thing just like doling out just like little ideas, like little thought bubbles. That's not bad. There's something.
Yeah, that's kind of silly.
Because there's no caption. I mean, there is, but it's a label.
Yeah.
Just like the exchange, the currency exchange booth at the airport.
Yeah.
Or even like, like a tropical Jamaica destination with the, with the booth at the airport. Because that's where they have it when you get it in Jamaica. When you come out, it's like near where you get a taxi.
Yeah.
That's where the currency exchange is.
Yeah,
which is
and
an
then
odd
you
place to
get
have
it
currency.
all changed. And they're like, we accept American dollars here. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Why would you bother
Yeah,
with this?
exactly. Yeah. Speaking of which, Sophie and I, we've been to Jamaica a few times. We were at Negril in the southwest, which looks exactly like Perth, by the way, on the map. So
They often say Perth is the Jamaica
It
of
is the-
Western Australia.
what a lazy, shiftless, just like people walking along the beach selling weed.
Well, Scarborough.
Scarborough, yeah, Scabs, yeah. So I don't think that's weed, Scott. So
Why does this myth look like? Why does this weed look like it's crystals?
Why is it blue?
Do you want it?
Yeah.
Or not?
There's a guy called Dr. Kush on the beach in Negril. He walks along and he's like got the best.
What's his? So he
Brownies
helps
and-
people. Like if you're feeling sick, he comes.
Sure, he helps you. Yeah, he helps you get happy. So Sophie was. We were in Jamaica, and there was this couple at the dinner table next to us, and I don't know if she meant to say this or if she just like skipped a word or whatever. But the woman had this gigantic diamond ring on her finger. It was just a huge. They looked like they were maybe newlyweds on a honeymoon or something. She goes, "Look at the size of that wedding." Her finger.
Yeah, right.
It was just like a gigantic
like a
blood
golf
diamond.
ball. Right.
And I think she
do you
was
know it's a
skipping
blood
us.
diamond?
I mean, this thing it had its own Bose code. I know that she meant to say wedding ring probably, but she said wedding. And I was like, yeah, no, that's about right. Yeah, that was probably an insane wedding. Based on the size of the diamond. That was probably a Javits Centre wedding.
Oh, yeah.
That was a Chelsea Piers boathouse wedding.
I went to a
Super
Chelsea
yacht.
Piers wedding. It was great.
Was it an Indian one? Or
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It's pretty much every... I do live caricatures of those ones. They're mostly Indian. Big, huge, hundreds of people.
So big.
Go for days.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay, so lots of fun though. Okay, these are also... Okay, and again, might need your brain on this. I may have figured something out. We should put this behind a paywall because this is good. It's...
You're doing that classic thing they tell all comedians to do before telling a joke.
Which is
build it up.
Build it up and tell everyone it's amazing.
Tell everyone it's amazing and say, I'm losing money on this deal by me telling you this joke.
So I get between 5 to 8 telemarketer calls a day. I'm on every list.
Really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. To the point where I have to put my phone in D&D pretty much all day.
Don't you have like a filter?
I
where it
have the
says spam?
Verizon filter,
Right.
and I have another additional filter, and somehow they still get through. It's insane. And then I also have a thing on the iPhone where it's like, if I don't have the number in my phone, just flag it as whatever. Anyway, somehow I just have 10, 12 missed calls a day. It's crazy. And I forgot to put my phone in Do Not Disturb the other day, and I just had my earphones in. But I was writing. I was doing like writing jokes, writing gags, and I was working on some stand-up material actually. And I got a call, and the guy was like, he was from like something vacations, holiday, blah blah blah, package vacations place. And I went, yeah, no, cool. Actually, where are you from? And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, where are you based? And he goes, I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I went, oh, great. Can I just check? Can I just bounce a bit off you? He went, what? I said, Joe, I want to check if this reference works with you. Can I just bounce a bit off you?
That's amazing.
And guess what? Click. Beep.
He hung up on
you.
you.
He hung up on me.
Wow. What was the joke?
I mean, I didn't even get to say it. I said, yeah, no, do your pitch to me, but just before you do, can I just bounce a bit off you? And he hung up. This is the God particle of telemarketers. You don't have to do any craziness to get them to hang up. Just ask them if there's something in this.
So what
Say,
you say?
can I just run a bit past you? I'm a comedian. And they'll just hang up.
What I'm hearing is
Yeah.
that our audience
Yeah.
has next to no telemarketers because
Pretty
they're all
much.
like, "Oh, not for me." No, thank you.
No, thank you. It worked though. He hung up.
You
I
know,
didn't even
another
get to
thing
do
is
the bit.
don't answer the phone.
Yeah, see, that's
That's
me.
another option.
Classic people pleaser tendencies. Okay, so now, do you remember years and years ago, we were trying to figure out what is 90, because there's no more 99-cent slice in New York.
Oh yeah,
Newsflash.
yeah.
And it's not inflation, it's just general, like, I mean, it hasn't been for a while.
Economic malaise.
Sure, let's call it that. I think the mayor did mention it at one point, saying we should just have for good measure just once in a while. Maybe once a week you have 99-cent slice, but you have to, whatever, get a soda with it. Or, I don't know. So
He's very
99-cent
generous
slice.
with these people's businesses.
He is, isn't he?
Imagine he did that with any other industry.
Yeah, just
all right, on
dry
Wednesdays, all taxi rides are $10 no matter where you're going.
Yeah, exactly. That was the thing. Do you remember that was a thing? Get, G-E-T-T. Get was $10 wherever you went in Manhattan.
Oh, I do remember
2015, yeah.
Yeah, I
That was
do remember
wild.
that.
Black car drivers. And the black car.
The cars are black.
The car is black. He almost choked on his Guinness just now. When I said that, he choked on his Guinness and went, the car.
Then the Vietnamese undercut them with 7.
Oh my God. Yes, private cars are known as black cars. But anyway, that's another thing. I was thinking, so it's two business owners. Times are tough in Manhattan, especially. Like, just every storefront is just desperately trying to make ends meet and get from month to month. More than usual. And I just thought it'd be great to have these two guys standing outside their store, their slice place, with just 99-cent pizza, glaring at the guy next door who's gotten
98
cent pizza.
I was thinking about that the other day on
Just
on
like-
Delancey. There's a big
That's
Yeah.
exactly where I was.
Yeah, yeah.
You know where Beauty and Essex
Yes,
is?
yes, yes, yes,
That's
yes.
exactly where I
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Because there's like 3
Yeah,
slice
that's right.
places
Yeah.
within a block of each other. Well, on the same block.
yeah.
And I kept thinking, like, boy, that's competitive. And it's like what different photos they have on the wall of which celebrities have eaten there. Like, there's Adam Sandler. Yeah, but we've got J-Lo. Like, and then there's that one in the corner, which is like more of a like Sopranos-y, Goodfellas-y kind of place. And there's something about the levels people will go to just to get an edge on someone else. Like 2 hot dog vendors next to each other, 2 pretzel places, hot nuts. Sorry for anyone who doesn't live in New York. There's hot nuts places everywhere. It's Nuts for Nuts, I believe, is the brand of it. It's basically people selling hot nuts,
Yeah.
hot roasted nuts.
I'm just, for some reason, and
Yeah.
I've got no thought beyond this,
Sure.
is the idea of like 2 athletes doing that, like 2 baseball players trying to undercut each other, the 2 pitchers. Like,
Okay.
I don't know how it works, but that kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always liked the 98-cent store.
Well, so it's 99 cents and up was always the joke. I was like, you know those like dollar stores where it's like 99 cents and up?
Yeah,
Which is
the anything, any price store.
pretty much, yeah. Those are everywhere in Queens. I mean, it's every second store in Queens.
They've always got a smell about them.
They do. It's like a musty
It's a
mothball.
musty moth. Yeah.
But boy, are there some bargains to be found. This is a
But it's the kind of place like, if you're in there for too long, you're like, I'm gonna get a ringworm. I don't know how. This is gonna end up with a fungal.
you know, walk out and have some kind of stomach bug.
Yeah, there's spores in my lungs now. I just got to feel
breathed
it
in some
and
black
feel
mold.
them.
Yeah. This is very silly. I wrote down, because I wrote these things when they come up, and I just put them. Hopefully,
So what? We're just. That's the 98-cent store. We're just done there.
I just think there's something there, but I don't know how to
No,
land
but
it.
the
Land the
nature of
plane.
the show is we try to figure it out.
Sure. But like 2 guys glaring at each other on a stoop out the front of or not a stoop, but like there's like the awnings are there, the sliced things are there, all of the earmarks of like, like Joe's or something on 6th Avenue, like or Bleecker Street or whatever it is. It's like having that like store, but the identical store, like Spy versus Spy. That's what I'm thinking. Black Spy, White Spy.
Yes, yeah, no, that's kind of what
It's
I'm thinking.
kind of-
What if it is a stoop
yeah.
sale and the guys next
Okay.
door are being like,
That could be a better...
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the reason I thought 99-cent slice is because, A, it was in the news a lot, and people are talking about 99-cent slice. It's in the zeitgeist. But the fact that everyone is trying to undercut everyone else just to stay alive at this point, like, a business to stay alive, is there something like that but mapped onto, the horse carriage rides in Central Park or...
Yeah. That's what I was
Top
thinking.
of the
with
Rock.
yeah.
But it's like... all the touristy things that one does when they come to New York. You've got family.
I think the
incoming,
issue the thing that I'm struggling with is that there is no like established like shorthand for undercutting. Like there is no 98-cent store that we can then superimpose onto another thing, like in order for that joke to work, we have to establish that something's being undercut, and now it's being undercut here in this ridiculous play.
Is it a cover? Is it a New Yorker cover? Like, is it a?
It is. I think
because it's a visual
it's
gag.
and it's a really accurate representation of the moment
in New York. Maybe it's a cover. Maybe that's what it is. Instead of it trying heavy-handedly to be a gag, maybe it's a painted.
And it's and you're seeing the different scenarios around the city.
Sure, that could work. Yeah. Even a scene in one scene where you see several versions of it happening throughout, that street.
And you could do like
hot dog vendor,
98,
the slice
90
store,
cent,
the
the
taxi
hot
cab.
dog taxi cab. Even there could be a stoop sale. There could be like
Psychic.
be like 2 baseball players. Like I got a 95 mile per hour fastball. Like he's undercutting him. Like it doesn't make
somehow.
sense. his fastball's slower.
Yeah. That might be just painting it out, building it out into something that's more of a tableau rather than a bit, like a a gag.
Yeah. That's what. Don't you think?
Yeah, like
Because-
summertime, like a real
something like
tourists
that.
are back in town.
Yeah.
Summertime, everyone's just trying to get like a bike tour of Central Park. You know those bike guys up on 6th Avenue and 59th, 57th.
Yeah, near the opposite the plaza.
Yeah. They're just constantly going bike tour. Like,
Do you know what? Can we say what the names of the books are?
Not yet.
We can't.
Not yet. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I'll tell you later then.
Right.
This joke that I've got for
What
a
a
book.
sizzle.
There's going to be a joke
Yeah.
in the book that we've got coming out
Yep.
at some stage in the next 12, 18 months.
Yep.
That
That
relates directly to what Jason just
hilarious.
said. Yeah.
Brilliant. I was thinking on Sunday, of like Jerry Seinfeld at the dermatologist gesturing at a mole in his neck going, "Is this anything?" That was Jerry bought a book out called "Is This Anything?"
I know. You got it for me.
I did.
Yeah. The
Just at the
that's the
dermatologist.
last of the great cash grabs as well. Just the unfinished
Bits.
kind of bits that
Yeah,
never
just
kind
put
of
them into a book.
Put them into a book, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's the fish chowder of joke. It's just like just put whatever's unused in there.
Yeah.
Burn your material.
Yeah.
Do a chapter opener just to kind of contextualize it. We'll sell plenty of those hardcover. Is it free Bible course, but then next to 99-cent Bible course? You know, on the subway? Is that a thing?
That's so stupid.
You know how they have those Bible courses with the pamphlets and the books? But
Yeah.
there's like 99-cent Bible course. It's like, ooh, this one looks interesting.
What else
Something
you got?
about that.
That's very silly.
Is there something in this? We talked previously about the Three Kings with the camels and the big Northern Star.
Yep.
Is it Northern Star? And because we were talking about
North Star.
North Star, sorry. And I'm wondering, like, I think we said something about, like, meet me back here in 20 minutes with the weirdest baby shower gifts you can find.
Oh yeah, with the frankincense and myrrh. thing,
Right.
yeah.
Is there and I don't know if this is just a bit naff now because GPS isn't really a thing, but like you have arrived at your destination. You know how like Waze and Uber and Maps and like Google Maps, when you arrive somewhere, when you punch it in, it says you have arrived at your destination. Is it them at the manger? And it's the star is saying you've arrived at your destination because they were following the star the whole time. I mean, allegedly.
Yeah. So
The star is the GPS. You have arrived at your destination. The star is saying that. It's a bit of a stretch, but
yeah. Yeah, I do. I like the idea of them kind of using like Google Maps or something.
sure. Or Apple Maps versus Google Maps. One of them getting lost.
Yeah. Yeah, with Apple Maps they end up at Buddha.
Yeah. Oops. That's funny.
They find like
Wrong trip.
Yeah. This is actually the 12th incarnation of the Dalai Lama. Sorry, just a bit late.
There was something, and this is kind of more of a political one, is that, you know, we have that idea of the Biden-Trump election, the guy seeing the, you know, footage and saying, oh, no, I can't watch this one. I haven't caught up on season 1 yet.
Oh, yes.
Which I still have high hopes for. It's every time I see photos of Trump and Biden, I just see they're always squinting. Even if they're indoors, they're always squinting.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Squint Fest 2024 is the name of the election. You know, there's always like an election and there's a name for it. Every 4 years, there's something.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, the idea of them both squint, like it's the optometrist's dream. Like neither of them wear glasses on purpose because they don't want to look old. But they
Trump's staring at the sun.
that one, the eclipse one, he didn't even really squint at it. He kind of actively tried to open his eyes to point at it. It's ridiculous. It was one of the funniest, stupidest pictures of that entire 4-year term. Just pointing up.
Stiff competition.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very funny.
Including walking across the lawn from the helicopter.
Do you think it's because they watched like Clint Eastwood movies and things? Like, do you remember in the 70s, like the cop, like that was a big part of acting like a tough guy. There was a lot of
Clint
like,
Eastwood. Right.
like Charles Bronson would be like, I can't believe you're gonna. Like they're always squinting.
Yeah.
Like De Niro would do it a lot.
De Niro did it pretty much.
Maybe
his
that's
entire
what
career.
they think they're trying to look like, kind of tough and hip.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just like two septuagenarians whose eyes aren't what they used to be.
That can't be it. That can't be it at all.
Octogenarians.
Oh, by the way, and I want to get this on the pod because it's one of yours that you've forgotten about, clearly.
Sure.
Because you haven't brought it up yet. This has been in the intervening years, and I thought it was a banger of a cartoon, and I want to draw it and pitch it.
Okay.
I'm going to pitch you one of your gags. See if you've got a fresh take on it.
Okay.
A music venue run by wolves. Maybe it's an open mic or like a battle of the bands kind of thing. There's a wolf stage manager with a clipboard in front, a bunch of wolves with leather jackets and guitars slung over their shoulders, and the manager's saying, you're on after Howling Jack, which is before Howling Brett, and after Howling Dean. Howling Dean?
Howling Dean.
Howling Jack, Howling Brett, and Howling Dean. I thought that was a banger.
Oh, that's really funny.
It's very funny. And I think we should pitch it.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
it's
that's
funny.
so stupid.
But just like wolves in
Yeah.
leather jackets, like
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
you're up, you're on deck, and then Howling Dean's after Howling
Jack.
'Cause they're all just
Where's Howling Gilbert?
Yeah, there's a silhouette of on stage, like that side stage
Yeah,
silhouette.
yeah.
Of things go, oh,
Yeah,
just like that face.
Yeah, with the guitar.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that.
That's a
funny.
good. That's a good. Yeah. Anyway, okay, and oh yeah, it's Christmas Tree Watch 2024.
Oh, yeah, no, I haven't had a look.
Tree still up. Okay, so we have some listener suggestions.
Oh, great.
And I want to run them by you. First one is from Jill K. Jill K. Okay. How do you feel about this as a cartoon? I wear a lot of black, being from a cold area, so I always related to Batman's "Does it come in black?" It might not be perfect, but what if Batman breaks character and hits us with "Does it come in morally grey?"
Oh, that's pretty
Too
funny.
meta?
That's really funny. I think it's very meta. I'll give Jill that. Yeah.
Yeah, but does it come in morally grey?
Does it come in morally
Moral grey area? That was pretty good.
Oh yeah, you'll need our ambiguous range,
Mr.
Mr.
The
Wayne.
ambiguous line from the morally ambiguous collection this season. Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny. Was another poll.
There's something very funny about Batman going
to
to
go
buy,
shopping.
going shopping.
Does it come in morally grey?
Or the guy's going, it looks black, but it's actually morally grey.
Yeah, if you see it in the right light, it's actually Paul Nesja, very excited that we're back. He's a long-time listener, first-time caller. Is there something in this? A cat leaving a therapist's office. The cat has a spring in his step, and he's looking very happy. In the background, you see the therapist looking at his couch in dismay because it's just been torn to tatters. That's a pretty good just the image of him like looking very satisfied.
That's
walking out of
that's
Dr.
funny.
Melfi's office.
Or what if it's a couch store and there's a cat trying to get in.
Oh, there you go.
He's back.
Oh, he's been
coming
blacklisted.
back. And like all of the couches you see through the big bay window are all torn to shreds.
Right.
And he's back and he's got friends. There's like a gang of cats.
West Side Story of cats.
Yeah. Where the cats?
Is there where the cats? Jets versus cats. Is there something in that idea of how sometimes there's like don't let this person in? There's like a photo of them saying like a band like blacklisted.
Oh yeah, across the way there they've got them. Yeah.
Like at a dive bar, usually it's like don't let this cat in. He's whatever. He's blacklisted or is that what it is? Like it's a couch store and they've been blacklisted. There's like a photo of them out front.
Yeah, I don't know. I like the psychologist is funny because it's it's a well-known couch.
Yeah, the psychiatrist couch is a very, very popular New Yorker trope. I do wonder if it's been done with a cat. I know we had a dog one, which was the dog saying... Well, actually, the first one we pitched was the dog on the therapist couch, and the therapist is saying, off the couch. which I don't know, I didn't get a bite. But then I sent it in as a caption comp as well, but they were like, "Oh, we've already run one with a dog on a couch saying it's the only place I'm allowed to be on the couch." I think it had already been done. I think Drew Donovich or someone did it.
Right.
And but I like the idea of a cat. Well, I'm not sure that I've seen the cat tearing up the couch one and saying, "Oh, I feel much better." I haven't seen it. I'd have to look it up. But I like that idea of the cat just looking really like, I needed that, sort of walking out, scratched up couch.
Yeah.
Furniture in tatters.
I do like that. I'm going to take that one on notice. That's a good joke, though.
Okay. No Sopranos references this week.
Does that count as one?
Maybe it does. If you want to send in your suggestions, by the way, you can do so by either DMing me on Instagram, which is just @NewYorkCartoons, or emailing jasonchatfieldcomedy@gmail.com. You can do either one of those things. If you, a penny for your bits. Penny for your gags. I don't know.
Yeah, penny for your bits sounds a bit OnlyFans.
It does sound a bit OnlyFans, doesn't it? A fraction of a Bitcoin for for your bits.
For your bits.
A bit for your bits.
Someone was saying to me that, OnlyFans is very close to cheating.
What do you mean?
Because
you're paying.
Well, I've never. I just full disclosure.
Yeah.
I've never kind of looked at it.
No, I've never really understood what it is.
But you
I
pay
kind of do, but
for one person's content, right?
Doesn't that get boring? I mean, not to.
Oh, your variety is the spice of life when it comes to
I
your
don't know
porn,
what the appeal is. How does it work? Do you
I
ask
think you can communicate with the person.
Oh, so you directly talk to them. It's not
I'm
like
not
a
sure,
Patreon
but this was the question of
right.
Well, OnlyFans is. This is probably a conversation we can just have over
Yeah.
there.
Yes, this is how, again, like I said, I was married before the apps, before any of this stuff, so I'm sort of like, again.
I was married so long ago, masturbation hadn't been invented.
Hadn't even been invented yet.
And on that filthy note, we would like to thank you very much for joining us. And
buy our book, you'renotareal.com.
You'renotareal.com.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.